I have been testing Stanley, Stan Store's a new Instagram coaching kind of chat app. And after 5 days, I've got some thoughts. Now, keeping in mind, this is a very early review. Okay, I haven't seen anybody talk about this yet, but I think it's a really interesting app. I kind of like it and I kind of don't like it. And I wanted to share my thoughts. Um, just in case anybody is considering adding this to their Instagram creator tech stack situation. And if anybody hasn't tried it yet and is considering trying it, um, I wanted to share my initial thoughts. So, first off, y'all, I just want to say Stanley came in clutch with the pitch, bro. Like, for real, this pitch was, it was a cold message in my email inbox. They must have sent out several of these. I mean, probably thousands, right? I don't know how they got to me. I'm not quite sure how I ended up on this list. I have seen Stan Store like partner with creators to talk about Stanley. Actually, I shouldn't say creators, I should say one creator. I've only seen one. Um and I'll go ahead and link the video where she talks about it. She doesn't do a review, but she was talking about what it is and recommending people try it, and you get a month free. But I didn't get it through her link. I got an email in my inbox from a random Stanley. And I was just like, who you? And it started to read, and I'm pulling it up right now. I should have pulled it up before this video. It started to read like one of those cold pitch emails, but the actual subject line was very targeted. I wouldn't necessarily call it good, but it was targeted. So I was curious. And from time to time, I do open these cold emails just to see if they have like any kind of targeted messaging. And this is the first time I've opened one where it was really targeted. So the subject line said, Chelsea, comma, your calm launch vibe is rare. I was just like, what you know about my calm launch vibe? Because this is in the bio of my Instagram account, like my Instagram profile, right? And so it's really interesting. Like I do talk about calm launches in my Instagram bio. So obviously they analyzed my account and pulled that in, and it was right in the subject line. So I was like, this reads like a cold pitch. It's not a great subject line, but it's not horrible. So let's see what's in here. Let's see if this is a target, because I didn't know. I didn't know what the heck this was supposed to be. So I opened this email, y'all. And this email sent me in the best way. Because why in the world is my new Instagram coach, Stanley, coming in hot with the tea? I'm going to read it for y'all. Chelsea, you're doing something most launch strategists cannot pull off, making six-figure launches feel spacious instead of chaotic. That positioning is gold. That's the first sentence. Now, caveat, I have seen cold pitches that start with very targeted first sentences. Fine. I am like, all right. We put in a little bit of effort here. This is like immediately the lens that like pops over my eyes when I receive a cold email. It's like, how much effort did you put in? That is immediately the lens I think through, because I'm like, if you didn't put in any effort to customize this to me and you're emailing me and you want my business, bruh, I don't have to put in no effort in this. So let me just exit stage left and take myself away, because you're not there feet. You're not here for this, okay? So a little bit of effort right at the beginning. I was like, all right, I have a reason to keep reading. Then it goes, what you're doing right. And it gives me some checks, like bullet points. Your be the talent, not the technician messaging hits instantly. I do have that messaging right across the top of my, like in the 3 pinned posts. That's what I talk about. The 100K plus anchor builds trust before you even pitch. Again, that's in my bio. Niche focus on coaches and course creators keeps you searchable. In my bio and in my content, I say this. 912 posts, shows your serious consistency and commitment. So I'm just like, all right, this whoever you are, you paid some attention. I'm liking where this is going. Let's see what else you have to say. Then it tells me where you're missing out. And um it's like lists 3 things that I could be doing better around my recent posts, actually driving saves and shares, showing enough client results with real numbers, a signature series that owns spacious launching. So like it's offering me things and ideas immediately. Like that series idea, I was like, huh, yes, I could do that. That's true. And then really smooth transition. I think this is where they locked me in. Really smooth transition. How Stanley helps. Stanley can be your strategic thought partner for content that actually converts. Get personalized content ideas based on what's trending in your niche. Use Stanley as an accountability coach to stay consistent. Get feedback on what's working and double down on what's next. Write scripts and captions faster so you stay the talent, not the technician. They use my own language back to me, bruh. Okay. See? Side notes. Y'all, if you're ever sending a cold pitch, follow this. This is so, it's not, oh my gosh, amazing. Because I can tell that AI wrote this, right? I can tell AI wrote this. I can tell that like it's just a cursory look at my profile. But the fact that they actually did it is what impressed me. Because most people nowadays still, even with AI, bruh, still sending cold pitches with no research when you don't need to. Like, come on. All it would take is to look up my podcast interviews or look up my website or look up blog posts that I've done. Like, that's all it would take. Because let's just say, okay, you can't connect straight to Instagram and scrape my posts. Fine. That's true. But there are other ways, boo boo. There are other ways. And Stanley locked in. Stanley locked in. All right. And the kicker was when it used my language back to me. So I was like, wait, huh? Then it gives the call to action. Ready to launch your content the way you launch your clients? Give Stanley a try and see what calm content strategy feels like. Okay. So I read this on Saturday morning. I just saw it in my inbox and decided to read it. And I said, you know what? I'm going to click this button. Try Stanley. I'm going to try Stanley. I open this up. It says start your free trial, get 1 personalized viral idea a day. And I was like, all right, sure. I'll take a free trial. Thank you. By this time, y'all, I don't really even know what this thing is. Because quite frankly, even though it says get personalized content ideas, use Stanley as an accountability coach, get feedback on what's working, write scripts and captions faster, all of those bullet points of what it was going to be able to help me to do were still obscure. Like it didn't say anything about what this thing was. All right. It didn't say Stanley is an AI coach for your content strategy and content creation support, like, or something along those lines. That's not what it said. And so I didn't really even know what it was. But I did sign up because it used back all my language against me and it was a free trial. And all the words that it was using kind of sounded like, okay, this is worth a test if it's a free trial. So I sign up and immediately get taken to this chat window. And I'm like, wait, is this a chatbot? Is this like a coaching bot? I didn't realize this. So I now start to talk to this thing and it jumps into creating content for me. And I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. What are we doing here? I literally just answered 2 questions about what my goals were. You analyzed my whole Instagram account and now you're writing content for me? I'm confused. What are we doing? So it backtracked, walked me through the whole thing. We created some content ideas on the spot. I was like, you have access to my Instagram account because I connected it. When I like in the onboarding, you're prompted to connect your Instagram account to Stanley. And so when you connect it, it has access to most, not all, most of your metrics. So it can see your likes, your comments, your shares, your saves. it can't see your profile visits and like it can see your views. I don't think it can see your reach though. There's some things that it can see and some that it can't see. But just having a coaching app that you can talk back and forth with, connected to your Instagram account and able to see your data, at least some of your data, I was like, oh, this is cool. Let's keep going. So I keep talking to this thing and I come up with some content ideas for this week. And I'm like, cool. I actually really love the convenience of having an a large like I don't know if I can call this a large language model, but a talk interface that I can go back and forth with that has direct access to my Instagram account because that's what I was missing with all of the other things that I use. ChatGPT, Claude, none of them have direct access to my Instagram. And maybe that's something that I could use like Meta AI to do or Manos since Manos is embedded in Meta, but I haven't tried it. It never occurred to me before now as I'm sitting here talking to y'all. But I haven't tried it. So it was really convenient to have a kind of talk back interface that's connected directly to my account and was able to run analysis. Now, I liked that feeling because it felt like it was giving me feedback that was grounded in numbers. However, I do have to use this tool. Like I purport this with every bit of large language model interaction that I do. I tell this to my list, I tell this to my clients, I say this on social media. I'm like, keep your brain on because these things will dilute your messaging. They will conflate ideas in your messaging and mix things up. They will make up things that you never even said. Right? The dilution, the conflation, the hallucination, it's all very real. So we have to have our brains on when we use these tools. And this is where we start to get into what I didn't love. Because I immediately started to notice that the context window is extremely short. So in a day, I think I had like 3 conversations about the same or similar topics. And I don't normally do that with Claude because I'm very spoiled in context windows in Claude. And I'm very it is one of the things that irks me is when a chatbot that I'm talking to loses context from earlier in the conversation. It is one of the prime reasons why, even before the wave of Claude migrations that everybody made earlier this year, like way before that, I think I was using Claude for a while before everybody else because I just couldn't stand how ChatGPT would like completely lose context in a conversation. It would drive me nuts. So I was like, nope, enough. We're moving. We're moving. This is stupid. And I still kept my ChatGPT account because I wanted access to ChatGPT's custom GPTs feature because I was creating some for my people. But I moved over to Claude because I was done. And so it irked me that Stanley's context window was that small. I didn't like that. But I was like, it's okay. I could just start a new conversation and it has memory across conversations. And so the convenience of having a chatbot connected to my account was worth continuing to talk to it. Cool. I talked to it Saturday. I think I talked to it a little bit on Sunday. And then Monday comes around, time for my first post. Why do I go into Stanley and I'm making this post and it's just not giving me what I'm looking for? It's just not, you know, how early ChatGPT would like kind of dumb down the things that you said and and summarize and therefore lose the nuance and the detail of your ideas? That's what it was doing. I was like, okay, stick up in you. Let me take what you've drafted because it didn't the draft was maybe like 50% of the way there, but it was, as I said, it lost the nuance. So I took it, filled in the nuance, and made that the post. I felt so good about that post, y'all. I'm gonna just be honest with you, okay? Side notes: the context within which I am talking about this is as somebody who's been on Instagram for years, but has also been inconsistent for years. So keeping that in mind, I have periods where I push and I have periods where I don't post for months. And I have not consistently posted on Instagram for a while. So when I say consistently, I have posted, but it hasn't been every 3 days, every week or something like that. So take this review within that context, right? This is not somebody who is already doing solid on Instagram and is trying to grow. This is somebody who has been in and out of Instagram, not committed. IG be my side chick, okay? And we not committed to her. We just show up from time to time. And we're trying to change that. We're trying to enter a monogamous relationship. Well, not really. Because I am on other social platforms, but we're trying to enter a committed relationship with Instagram. And so that is the context within which I am posting this content. I worked so hard on that post. I was so proud of that post. That post got no likes, not even a bit of engagement for the first like 24 hours that I posted it. I was just like, wow, okay. The day I start using Stanley is the day my content nobody don't respond to my content. Let's stay away. That's a question. I have questions about that. So I'm like, all right, Chelsea. It's just one post. Let's try something different tomorrow. Tuesday comes around, I try something else. I try a reel this time. Day one was a carousel, Monday was a carousel, Tuesday is a reel. Y'all, that reel gets the lowest view count of reels, or one of the lowest that I've recorded all year. So I'm just like, Stanley, are you not it? Because it's doing the thing where it speaks like with that kind of confidence, right? And even though I catch it, because I do, because it will say foolishness. Sometimes it says that like my hook is not emotional. Bro, are you reading the words on the screen? My hook is 100% evoking emotion. You are missing the mark. And then I'll correct it and it will do the typical thing of like, oh my gosh, you're so right to call that out. Da, 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 that kind of foolishness there. And so I checked it a couple times in terms of just calling out what it was getting wrong. But I don't know. I can't say that I blame it all on Stanley, because like I said, this is Chelsea's like comeback situation. This is not I'm already doing solidly and I need to now scale that. And so Stanley not giving me what I'm looking for is probably not only Stanley's fault. Or rather, let me not say Stanley not giving me what I'm looking for. The posts that I work on with Stanley not getting the level of engagement and not getting the outcomes that I'm looking for, the metrics I'm looking for, because it's not just engagement that I want other things, right? I'm looking for things like profile visits, and I'm looking for link clicks, and I'm looking for actually, does Instagram even do link clicks anymore? Not a main feed. That don't make no sense, Chelsea. um I'm looking for DMs and I'm looking for profile visits, especially, and for saves, right? And these two posts ain't got none of those things. So I come into Stanley today, today's Wednesday, and I'm like, bro, help me understand why neither of the posts we did in the last couple of days got any kind of engagement compared to just the 3 posts I did the week prior, right? I did 3 posts the week prior and 3 posts before that. And so we've got 6 posts for the last 2 weeks. And this is my 3rd week of posting consistently in a couple of months. And nothing from the 2 posts that you helped me work on. And so it gives me back an analysis, which I think it was not good. I'll be quite honest, I didn't trust that analysis because what it was saying wasn't making any sense. It was using the same kind of your hook is lacking emotional resonance and da 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 compared to your previous post. And I'm like, bro, are you reading what's in front of you? Like, and then it's asking me, did I post it at not a good time? I'm like, We already had this conversation. I changed my posting time to a time that I know will get more engagement. And yet these posts didn't get anything. So what is going on? And so I was like, you know what? I must stop wasting time talking to Stanley and actually just go write my post and post it myself. And in case you're wondering, yes, this post already got some engagement. So again, I'm not about to say that Stanley didn't do a good job, right? I'm not about to say that Stanley don't know how to write content. I'm not about to claim that. But this post got more views than any of the previous posts that I've done this week and the previous 2 weeks, if I'm looking at this correctly. I'm scrolling real quick to see the numbers, y'all. Yeah, it got the most views this today's reel, and it got the most likes of the last two posts between Stanley's drama and and mine today, and it got the most comments. So, fam, I'm not gonna check the profile visits yet because I made the post earlier today. So tomorrow would be a better time to check the profile visits. But y'all, obviously, I don't know if I'm not talking to Stanley correctly. I'm not coming correct with Mr. Stanboy. I'm not sure what's happening. But I do have a months long trial, right? So I'm gonna keep testing it. But I definitely have a thing where if I notice that I'm going back and forth with a chatbot way too long, for like ChatGPT, Claude, and way too long for me is a couple messages. Because I have realized, and I talked about this in another video, I have realized that the more you go back and forth with these things is the more energy and capacity it takes from you, and it takes away from you that you could be using to just create your post that you are working on, period. And you don't have to keep going back and forth with this thing, trying to get from it what you're trying to get from it, when you can just use your own brain. And the same energy that you would use going back and forth with it and getting nowhere, you could use your own brain and actually get somewhere. So like, I would rather just stop talking to Stanley and go write my stuff. So I really like the convenience of having this kind of chatbot interface directly connected to my Instagram account. I really enjoy that because it feels like I can look at my data without being in Instagram, without being like in the interface and clicking through multiple posts and all that jazz. It can gather all the information at one time. That is extremely useful to me, and I value that. It also feels like when I'm making my analyses across my content and comparing content, I can make decisions based off of numbers, and I can draw conclusions based off of actual data, not just based off how I feel and how I think. And I can streamline that logical sort of thought process to a conclusion because I'm not trapped in the Instagram UI, right? I'm not like having to scroll back because think about it this way. If I'm in the Instagram UI and I'm trying to look at insights per post, right? I have to click on the insights. Either I'm in the performance window or I'm in my main profile and I'm clicking on insights. And then I have to click through to that particular post, and I have to look at the insights underneath that post. And then I have to scroll across to see like profile views and saves and all the things. And then I have to come out of that post and look at another post. And so I'm navigating the user interface of Instagram in a really clunky way. And it stops my thought process. It makes it harder for my thought process to flow. And therefore for me to easily come to a conclusion looking at all the numbers and all the data in one place. Stanley allows for that. So I really, really, really like that. I do not like how short the context window is. I do not like how it seems like the model they're using is kind of stupid. Stupid is a very strong word. It's not an advanced reasoning model, is the way that I want to say that. Yeah. So, am I going to continue to use it? Yes. I have a free trial up until July, beginning of July, I think. So I'm going to continue to test it and see. Is it worth switching or adding to your tech stack? I don't know what you'd be switching from. I guess if you use Claude to write your stuff. I still found Claude helpful today. So like when I left Stanley, I went right back to Claude, and I have a project in Claude that has transcripts from my YouTube videos that I'm using to inspire my Instagram content. And so I already have things set up in there that make it much easier for me. Even if I don't have it directly connected, and I can't have it directly connected to my Instagram right now, right? So I just went straight back to Claude and wrote that post, y'all. So I don't know if it's worth switching it. I'd be curious to see if they upgrade the model that Stanley is using, because it low key kind of feels like, it almost feels as if they were using Claude Haiku to write this, because it's not completely out of the loop, right? It understands things. It's not stupid. I used the word stupid earlier. It's not stupid, but even the speed at which it responds, you can tell that it feels like Claude Haiku. What model is this? Haiku, what is it called? Haiku 4.5. That's what it feels like, bro. It feels very incapable is not the right word. It has a hard time holding on to the nuance of data and actually analyzing what's in front of it without like drawing random conclusions, from what I can tell. I think Opus would do a better job, um, or even Sonnet, quite frankly. But maybe they're not committing to that right now because the spend is, it's still early. I don't know. I don't know. But I'm curious to see if they change anything before I leave. And if they do, if it does get better, I could definitely consider staying, because as I said, I really appreciate having it directly connected to my Instagram account and being able to pull in that data, look at all of it, and make some decisions. So yeah, I wouldn't count the last 5 days as a loss at all. It was really useful in terms of even just thinking about my content and having clarity around how I want it to work. That was really, really helpful for me. Like having Stanley ask those questions, top notch. I appreciate that. But its analysis and its context window is not serving me right now. So I'll be interested to see if anything changes. And depending on if anything changes, I might decide to stay. And if I decide to stay, or I guess if I decide to leave too, I could do another review, like a more of a 30-day review than a 5-day review. Because I'm willing to give it a shot for a few more days. So we shall see, y'all. We shall see. Have you tried Stanley? If you have, let me know what you think. I'm super curious. I have no affiliate link for you because I'm not an affiliate or anything like that. I was just curious about what this was, tried it out, liked it for some reasons, others not so much, and I'm curious to see how it goes. All right. Have you heard about it before? Are you curious to try it? If you have tried it, let me know your initial thoughts. All right, y'all. All of that can be dropped down in the comments below. You can also message me over on Instagram. The link to my Instagram account is in the description box as well. And thank you so much for joining me for this review. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.